What's up, and welcome back to Cleats to Whistle podcast. I am Brad Valdez. We are here back at Western High School, and we got Big E, man. It's been a minute. I've coached with Coach for, I think, twice. We just talked about it off. We coached here at Western, and now he's back at Western, but we coached actually at Doss as well, man. Really happy to finally get you on, man.
Appreciate it, man. We're supposed to be on earlier in the summer, but we misconnected.
Yep. So, man, we're just going to get into it, man. Just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody what your role on the staff is here.
All right. How you doing? My name is David Edmondson. Graduated high school from Southern, K-State alum. Been coaching football since 2009. Had stops at Conway, Southern, Western, Doss. Now I'm back at Southern.
There we go.
Back at Western.
Yes. Now we and I mentioned this off camera too. Man, how does it feel to be back? You know what I mean, coaching here, and was it a, you know what I mean? Because he was actually at Doss, and is it like a revived feeling coming back here?
Yes. It's kind of strange because I always worked here. Even throughout my coaching career, I've only worked in Jefferson County 2 places, Breckenridge Metro and here at Western. So I've always worked here, and it was kind of strange, to have to go other places to coach. But the 2 opportunities that I have to coach here, it's kind of cool because I have a great relationship with the kids anyway. So, it's kind of weird because I would always tell the kids that I want them to win every game except for when we play y'all. I'm trying to beat y'all by 50.
Yeah. Oh, man. And we all have that past, man, and those guys, that bring you up. Do you shout out some of those guys, man?
Man, it's actually kind of funny because, like I said, I started coaching at Conway Middle School. And actually, one of my first kids that I coached at Conway ended up being a star running back here, Adrian Williams-Ralston. So, just being able to see him, and he actually went on to go to K-State and graduated from K-State. And just, it's been a lot of kids, man, that I've really, developed relationships with that I've coached over the years that, still in contact with to this day. Even my Doss kids from last year, it's 3 kids that I talk to at least once a week, through text or call, and just checking on them, build relationships with kids. And, once my kid, you're always my kid. It's a kid that I coached at Conway that he's become a family member. He's a grown man now, and we talk all the time. He comes to family functions, and, what I'm saying, and we just built that relationship, and, he came around and just never left.
Yeah, and the word coach,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just the meaning of it, you know what I mean? Everybody's got a different meaning, man. You know what I mean? I've never been called dad, but I've been called coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's funny because we, just talk all the time, as that coaching hat entails so much. I'm a coach. I'm a counselor. I'm a
yes, sir.
I'm a father figure. I'm a relationship guru. Sometimes I feel like those hats, that you wear, come in various number of ways. And I always tell people, they laugh like, "Hey, you get paid to coach football, don't you?" I said, if you count the money, we get paid pennies on the dollar. I might be in the negative.
Exactly. As much time. Yeah. If you punch that clock every day when you're here from February all the way till, damn near middle of November, man.
And from the first day I've ever coached, I don't think I've ever coached at a place where every kid had a ride home. So, if you count taking kids home, and you, like I said, you develop the relationships, you hang out, taking them out to eat, and, just developing that rapport and that relationship with them. Because, my philosophy is before I can coach you, I have to show you that I care.
Yeah.
And you won't, excuse me, you won't even allow me to get close to you until I show you that I care. So, that relationship building thing is, I think, a lot of people get kind of misconstrued about coaching. That, you thinking because you have all these X's and O's in your mind, and that may be the point. That may be true, but until you get that child to understand that, I care about you first as a person, you'll never get a chance to coach him as a player.
Yep. I love it, man. That's true. That's all facts, man.
Yes. Yeah.
And now he's a defensive coordinator.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and this guy has so many what are the monikers or you know what I mean?
yes.
11:30. What's your other one?
Look, 11:30, and be like, "What's that?" You know, everybody we break down on defense. We break down to 11:30. It's 11 men to the ball, 3 and out, 0 points. Then I tell the kids, you know, another thing. I just need you to do 9%. I don't need you to be a hero. Just do your 9%. And one kid was like, "Coach, what is 9%?" I said, "How many kids are on the field?" He said, 11. I said, "What's 11 times 9?" He kind of looked up in the sky, 99. I said, "Well, if you do anything 99% of the way, you'll be successful in pretty much everything that you do." He's like, "Oh, so if everybody just do their job, then
Do their job.
that's all I need you to do. I don't need you to do nobody else's job. Just do your 9%."
Yeah, I love it, man. Every time I see it, because Dante,
Yeah.
we coached at Doss. Dante Ellison was like, he's like, this guy, man, he comes up with crazy stuff, man. What's his coach? What's it, man?
Hey, man, I've truly believed that good coaches borrow, great coaches steal.
There you go, man.
All those sayings and monikers I've either picked up from other coaches or going to clinics or just, you know, internet surfing, man. You know, I do take my craft seriously, man, and, you know, really dig into it and, you know, let's go listen to other people talk and, you know, high school coaches, because, you know, some people think, you know, that I know everything. And I'm not one of those people. I'm always trying to learn new and inventive ways to reach kids and, you know, new and inventive things to do on the field because the game changes, the kids change. So if you don't change, you become stagnant and become a dinosaur.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's facts. But you know what I mean? You recently just started calling defenses, haven't you?
Actually, well, you know, I've been calling defense. This is my 4th year now calling defenses. It's kind of crazy how that even happened because, you know, I've always, you know, I've never really had any desire to be a head coach, but, you know, was actually at Doss and, you know, had went through a couple of DCs, you know, kind of back to back. And the kids was like, "Coach E, why don't you just call the defense?" And I'm like, "Huh?" It's like, "Yeah, you always, you know, call it anyway. You're in the booth. Why don't you just call the defense?" And, you know, just kind of sat down and talked to Coach Crow. And Coach Crow was like, "Man, I was just kind of waiting on you to, you know, to come ask me, you know, because I was going to ask you, did you want to call the offense?" And I was like, "Well, no, I'd rather call the defense." He was like, "Man, yeah, man, put it together, man, and we'll roll with it." And, you know, and he let me, you know, get in my bag. And, you know, I came up with, you know, I'm an odd stat guy. I like a lot of pressure. And he was like, "Man, you got it down, man. Let's roll with it." And we've been rolling with it ever since.
There you go, man. And it's, you know what I mean? And you've coached so many kids, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? From Ricky Barber.
Yes.
He's,
Yes.
you know, UCF right now.
He's another kid that I, you know, built a relationship with. And, you know, Rick would call me, man, all the time. And, you know, just be like, "Coach, man, I was just thinking about you, man. How you doing, man?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm good, man." I had a little health scare where my back was bad. Man, he would call and just check on me, man. "Coach, how you doing, man? How you feeling, man? And everything going all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm good, man. Just appreciate you for calling and, you know, talking to me." You know, every time he comes in town, man, he'll reach out and be like, "Man, Coach, what you doing, man? Let's get together, man. You know, I ain't got much time." I was like, "Man, Rick, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying, take no time away, man. Just do what you do, man." You know, I always tell him, man, you don't have to do nothing for Coach E. I just want to be VIP at the draft party.
There we go, man. And what he's one hell of a kid, man.
Yes.
If you don't know who we're talking about, it's Ricky Barber. He's playing for UCF right now.
Right. Started originally at Western Kentucky and
Yep.
transferred to UCF, man, and will probably be on heard his name called in the NFL draft this year.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, we're just sitting here talking, man, just talking ball, talking guys, and But did you grow up in Kentucky, in Louisville?
Yes, I'm actually born and raised in Louisville. Like I said, graduated from Southern. You know what I'm saying? Played football at Southern. Originally went to Kentucky State to continue my football career, but academically wasn't up to par. And, you know, it was back during the day where, you know, you were Prop 48, and I never made it back to the field from that. But, you know, I've always, you know, known that I wanted to deal with kids in some capacity, from like working summer jobs. I worked, you know, Metro Parks and, you know, just enjoyed that type of work. So I always knew that, you know, working with kids would be something that I like to do, and end up, you know, being an education major at Kentucky State, and just went from there, man, and been loving it ever since.
There we go. There we go. And did you play Little League where'd you play?
I played Little League in the West End. I played for the Shawnee Spartans and the Fly J Rams.
Okay, Flagey's been around for are they really like an old like
And it's crazy that you say it.
staple?
Actually, my godfather and godmother, Vernon Gibson and Ruby Gibson, actually started the Fly J Rams. That's what they were called. They were called the Fly J Rams initially. And they actually started the program, like I believe in 1978.
Oh wow.
And, coached clean up until the late 90s. And till, he retired and stepped away. And, I played, little brothers played, cousins played.
Yeah.
It was really a family affair. He started the Rams with a gentleman named Coach Birdsong, and his sons played for the Rams until he moved on and started another program. But yeah, the Little League scene, back in that time was big, man. And I'm kind of jealous of the Little League scene now because there's so many more teams and they get to play all over the city. All throughout Little League, we played either at Shawnee High School, Fly J Field, or Central on the practice field. This is before the stadium.
Yeah.
This is before the stadium. We played on the practice field.
Right.
And then, only time we really got to play someone outside of that was, if we went out to Sun Valley and played Valley, or we would do jamborees where we would go out and play like J-Town or Heights Point or somebody like that. So, when I see these kids now, they're traveling all over the world. And,
All over.
they play all over the state of Kentucky. And, it's different. But, I applaud those guys, man, that, pour into those young kids because those young kids are the foundation to what I get when they come to high school.
Yes, sir. Yep. And did you have a number growing up that had a meaning?
Oh, man, big time. I've always been a Deion Sanders fan. It's crazy. So I've always been a big guy. So I played middle linebacker and defensive tackle. So Deion Sanders was my favorite player, and then a guy that played for the Chicago Bears, Wilbur Marshall. So my actual game jersey was 58. I wore that from, I want to say, since I was 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
All the way through high school. But being the Deion fan, Deion wore 2 at Florida State, and then when he got to the NFL, he couldn't wear 2 in the game, so he wore 2 as his practice jersey. I couldn't wait till my sophomore year. A guy named Al Harris wore 2 my freshman year at Southern. I couldn't wait for him to graduate, and from my sophomore year to my senior year, my practice jersey at Southern was 2.
Nice. So, man, that's good stories, man. That's good stuff. Favorite memory playing football?
Oh, man, favorite memory playing football. Oh, this is crazy. So, Little League, playing for the Shawnee Spartans. We actually had a Monday night game when I was maybe 12 years old. And it was the first time I'd ever played underneath the lights. And, the whole community came out, man. It was a big deal, man. And that was probably one of my favorite nights playing football as a young kid. And then, of course, we played my senior year. We played a fun game. We played Male High School in the first round of the playoffs at Cardinal Stadium. So that was a big thing.
Nice.
It was kind of crazy because, Phil Simms supported Southern really, really, really big back then. And the big thing was we were playing on the turf, and that Wednesday we came to practice, man, everybody had new turf cleats in their locker.
Nice. Let's move into coaching, man.
Mm-hmm.
What got you into coaching? I know you said you wanted to work with young men and be in the sport, but was there a story that got you, or someone that got you in?
Man, it was actually crazy. So when I graduated from college and moved back here, my middle brother, Vernon Gibson, was coaching at Central. And just with going up there to watch them practice and, just hanging out, it's like, man, dude, I want to coach, man. I'm going to get into coaching. And it never materialized there. But then shortly, I think the following year, they started middle school programs. and he became the head coach at Conway. And he was like, "Big bro, come on, man, we're gonna coach at Conway, man." And I was
There we go.
like, huh? And prior to that, I never thought about it because I just wanted to coach high school because I was working in the school and had reached out to a couple, other coaches. I have, several coaching partners that I hang with on the regular that were coaches, and they were like, "Man, you ain't gonna coach, man. You don't want to do it, man. You don't want to deal with these kids." I'm like, "Man, look, man, I really want to coach," and started with the Conway program, man, and just fell in love with it, and just so happened that a guy that I actually played little league against, growing up, Charles Addison, actually called me and was like, "Hey, man, what you doing, man?" It's like, "Man, I ain't really doing nothing, just chilling, man." He's like, "Come on, man, hey, got a proposition, man. What you thinking about coming back home?" And I'm like, "Coming back home?" It's like, "Yeah, man, I just became the DC at Southern. You know what I'm saying? I want you to come on out, man, and coach with me." And I'm like, "Man, if you got a spot for me, man, I'm riding with you, man." And went out and coached and went out there, man, and fell in love again, man. I was back at home. It was weird though, my alma mater, I'm a Southern guy coaching out there, but it was kind of strange because it wasn't the same Southern. They had built the big field house. And,
Yeah.
and it was kind of, like that at Circle. The guy who coached me at Southern, Coach Burns, was the AD when I went back to coach.
Gotcha.
And it was really weird because like he actually had recruited me when I was playing Little League to go to DeSales because he coached at DeSales. And lo and behold, unbeknownst to me, I actually end up going to Southern. And my sophomore year, he joins the staff at Southern. He gonna tell me, "You try to get away from me, try to run from me. You can't get away from me. I'm gonna make you work."
That's a good story, man.
Yeah.
Good story. And you're DC here.
Yes.
Let's get into them now.
Okay.
Is there any leaders on that side of the ball?
Man, we got a kid named Roman Brown. He's a little kid, small in stature, but man, his heart is so big, man. And we haven't had a lot of success on the field, which kids can kind of be cruel to each other, man. And this kid has never ever put his head down. He's never had a give up attitude, and he's always been the guy that been like, "Come on, guys, come on, man. We still in this, man. We still in this." And then another guy, Eddie, plays O-line and D-line, man, those two guys, man, they lead from the front. You have some guys who can lead when things are going good, but Eddie and Roman, man, no matter what's going on, man, I can look to them, and they're always gonna be the guy to be like, "Come on, man, let's keep going, man. Hey, man, stop playing, man. Come on, man, let's get serious, man. Come on, we can win this." So those two guys, especially, but we have a lot of great kids on our team, man.
Well, and you guys are young.
Yes. We're fairly young, man, and got a lot of kids that we're returning. You know what I'm saying? And the opportunity for us to build something is right in front. It should be a great task. It's going to take work, but we had the opportunity to really build something. And I think that's kind of what, when Coach Crow approached me, about taking the job, I think that's one of the things that we said. It's an opportunity to build. I don't know, like we're going through a transition where we're becoming a STEM school. So everybody from this year on will be application only. So we have to go out and get kids. So it's an opportunity to build something. And that's all you can ask for, is the opportunity, man. And the opportunity is definitely there for us to go out and get a great group of kids to start a foundation. So this year was kind of rough because we don't have any freshmen this year in the building at all.
Okay.
So, that foundational piece, really isn't in place now. But, next year we'll have an opportunity to go out and get kids.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. And this is what I was going to get into next, the staff now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've been with Crow for years now, man.
Actually, it's kind of crazy. So, known him almost my entire life, as a kid, he grew up down the street from me. But, he's a little older than me. So, we never really hung out. But once, I got to coaching and, going to clinics and, different stuff, Character First and stuff, would always see him. And, we have several mutual friends that, we just kind of became close, and we started coaching together at Doss. And it was just kind of ironic when he got the head coaching job at Doss. I had an opportunity to go to another place and coach. And he kind of called me. He's like, "Hey, coach, man, got the job at Doss, man, and you were the first guy that I wanted to reach out to, man, to see, if you would like to come on and stay on my staff." And I was like, "Man, for real?" He's like, "Yeah, I want you to stay, man. I like what you do with the kids." And I was like, "Man, I'm gonna ride with you, man." And been riding with him ever since,
man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's a great story. And the other guys on your staff, are you guys gelling?
Yeah, man, I love the way our staff is. So we have Ron Wakefield. That's my big brother. We grew up together again. He's an older guy than me, but he was one of the guys when I was little that I kind of looked up to, in football. He played at Doss, went on to play at Campbellsville. Really good dude, man. And then Porter, it's kind of crazy. Again, I grew up on Market Street. He grew up across on the other side of Market behind St. Columbus. So I've been knowing him a long time. And then Stenham, we played against each other in high school. He's an Iroquois graduate. But, just through Crow and other guys, that coaching fraternity, been knowing him a long time. So we have a really good staff. Then we have a couple, a young coach, which is Coach Porter's son. He's on the staff with us, man, a really good young man, just really wanted to, just grow as a coach, man. He's done a great job of breaking down film and stuff for us, man. So, we don't have a lot of guys, but the guys who are here, man, do a really good job of pouring in the kids.
Yeah, that's crazy because when I did interview Crow, it was fresh, brand new, just got the job. And he's like, "Man, I'm trying to put this thing together." I was like, "Man, it's a whirlwind right now for you." And it's good that, you know what I mean, he had, yes. I assumed that you was rolling with him.
It was fun. It's kind of crazy. So, like I said, I've always worked here. So when we played them last year, it was funny. I always mess with the kids the week that we play them. So some of the kids, know me as just Coach E in the building. A couple of them didn't know that I even coach football. So when they found out I coach football, I always mess with them. I'd be like, "Hey, you got a hood on. I'm going to get you suspended this week. You ain't going to play against Doss." And you're like, "No, Coach, you can't do that, man. Why you coach over there?" I was like, "Man, opportunity wasn't presented for me to coach her this year,
right,
man." I said, "But, I want, y'all to win every game. But when y'all play Doss, I want to beat y'all by 50.
And there you go. And then this is I know we're into week 8.
Yes.
And you guys, create those goal lists.
Mm-hmm.
You're checking them off.
Yes.
Have you guys done good with your checking off your goals? And what is one goal that you would, and this is the last question. What goal do you want to see this team achieve?
Our goal initially was, new district, we're in a 16 district. So the initial goal was to be a playoff contender. So, that's still in front of us with 2 district games to play. If we win the 2 district games, we make the playoffs. So in the 16 district, you got to win at least 2 games in the district to make the playoffs. So that was our original goal. Of course, was to make the playoffs. Then, the goal was, hey, if we're going to make the playoffs, let's be the number 1 seed from the district. Then, a goal for me was to get my kids to buy in to what we were trying to get them to understand what our goals and dreams was for this team. Get them to understand that just because you play for Western High School, you have the right to be successful too, but no one's going to give it to you. You have to work for it. So you have to come put this work in, be an avid listener and an avid learner, and just be coachable. I think that was like the crazy part about it. Coach Wakefield, he's coached, state championship teams. He's been part of state champions. So he's seen it done at its highest point. 6A football, big boy football. He was the DC. They won championships. So when I asked him to come on with us, he was like, "Coach, I'd love to come on and, help you guys out." I said, "But Coach, I have some non-negotiables." And I'm like, "Your non-negotiables are my non-negotiables. You got to come every day. You got to get your paycheck. You can't get paid if you don't come to work."
Exactly.
Your paycheck is Friday. You get your paycheck on Friday. So, if you've been missing throughout the week, you can't cash that in.
Yep.
So that's the thing. Just trying to build a culture of accountability and winning, which comes through accountability.
Yes, sir.
You can't shortcut this game of ours. There are no shortcuts. You only going to get success through hard work.
Yep.
So kind of struggled summer. Just getting kids to come out. Coach Crow had a little accident where he was kind of laid up for a little while. So just getting it out there. Hey man, we need you in the weight room, man. We need you to come. Workouts, man. We need you. You can't wait till school start, man. We rolling then. So
Yep.
our goal was to develop. It's an old school term called the Dirty 30. If we can get 30 dedicated guys to come out, man, and with a little luck, as far as injuries go, we felt like we could be successful. And for the most part, I mean, we've been fairly successful. Not in the wins column. We've been competitive in a lot of games where attrition has gotten us. We just have because right now I think presently we have like 27 guys on our roster. So attrition has gotten us a couple times where not being able to really sub and guys not being able to
Yep.
manage that heavy workload that's gotten us a couple times. But I mean, for the most part, man, everybody's put their hard hat on, man, put their work boots on, man, and just went to work.
There it is, man. This has been one hell of a podcast, man. I appreciate you coming for finally getting you on,
Thank you,
man.
I appreciate you for inviting me, man.
Yeah, man. But like I said, Friday, I will be live here on YouTube. I will send out the link morning before. But yeah, this is their homecoming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Homecoming. Play Valley High School today, man. The old Dixie Highway rivalry reborn, man.
There it is, man. Like I said, I appreciate you, Coach, for coming on, man. Yeah, this has been Cleats to Whistle podcast.